If we saw in the first part the darkness of violence surrounding us, then now, let's imagine how the light of peace might enter. Peace is not just the absence of war. It is the air we breathe. It is the soil where society plants its seeds. It is the heartbeat that allows humanity to exist together. Without peace, every other achievement becomes fragile. A strong economy can collapse after just a few days of unrest. An advanced education system can unravel within months of conflict. A vibrant culture can turn to ashes in the fire of a single war. That is why peace is not a luxury. It is a necessity for survival. History teaches us, when gunfire ceases, broken cities begin to rise again. When people stop fighting, wounds finally have the chance to heal. When societies sit down to listen, real solutions are born. And let's remember, no war truly ends with a signature on paper. It only ends when those once called enemies begin to call each other by one word: human. In today's world, violence isn't confined to battlefields. It spreads through words online, through headlines that flood our screens. Extremism suffocates dialogue. Fear erodes trust. Division breaks communities into fragments, each clinging to its own truth. In such a world, the voice of peace becomes our guiding light. It is the light of those brave enough to cross lines of hatred and extend a hand. It is the light of leaders who choose dialogue over bullets. It is the light of ordinary people who decide to listen before they lash out. Peace doesn't begin with grand treaties. It begins with small acts, a glance of understanding, a conversation that isn't cut short, a hand extended in the heat of anger. Some may ask, the voice of peace is so small, can it matter in a world drowning in violence? The answer is yes, because the strength of peace doesn't lie in its volume, but in its power to move hearts. It doesn't knock opponents down, it makes them pause. It doesn't create fear, it plants trust. And trust, once planted, can grow into a forest. Look at history. Gandhi chose nonviolence and shook an empire. Martin Luther King chose the dream of peace and awakened millions. Nelson Mandela chose forgiveness instead of revenge and healed a nation. They all proved that peace is not weakness. Peace is the highest form of strength.